So Dan Campbell went in front of the media today, and he was asked about his coordinators, including Dave Phipp, the special team coordinator, about the possibility of those two gentlemen leaving, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. And we've talked about it on Lions Syndicate in depth about where he could go. Either one of the guys. Ben Johnson wants to go to a place where he can choose his quarterback. Now, there's been reports that he could have gone to the Bears, but the Bears are married to Caleb Williams. That's the way it's going to be. So if Ben Johnson was going to take Caleb, he could possibly go there. It would suck to see him in the North, but it is what it is, right? But then you have Aaron Glenn, and I just don't know if Aaron Glenn decides to go anywhere. He got a primo situation. The defense is just coming together. He just now is really getting his pieces. We traded for Zadarius Smith. He lost Hutch. Zadarius is under contract for next year. You got to decide whether or not you're bringing back Levi or you're going outside of the organization. But one thing about the Jets that I don't see him going over there. I just don't. Aaron Rodgers is a Jet. He already came out Tuesday and said that he did not want to retire. He's going to finish his contract, which means that he's going to be under contract for next year. He's going to play the 2025 season with the Jets. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck. There's no way, in my opinion, unless Aaron Glenn is asking for trouble, that he goes over there. Here's what I mean. I don't think Aaron Rodgers acts the same. And I'm not trying to make Aaron Rodgers to be any type of way. But correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, all right? Has Aaron Rodgers played for an African-American head coach in his career in the NFL? I don't think he has. I believe he played for Mike McCarthy, Matt LaFleur, other guys, maybe interns. I don't think he's played for an African-American coach. And as an African-American man, we not dealing with him. That's it. You put your hands on me, you going to the bench. But you not going to put your hands on me. I'm going to make that extraordinarily clear. Because if I'm Aaron Glenn, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it in public. I'm going to do it in private. I'm going to call a team meeting, and I'm going to tell you, don't none of y'all put your hands on anybody, let alone a head coach or anyone on this coaching staff. If you do, you will be cut immediately. Don't you put your hands on me. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's a bump, unless we bro hugging, you won't put your hands on me or nobody else in this organization. Do you understand? Can you do that? Yes or no? See, Aaron Rodgers ain't used to that. He not used to being pushed. He used to doing the pushing. And I assure you, he not pushing Aaron Glenn, literally or figuratively. So for me, I don't think we lose either one. Now, it might be some other guys that open up some head coaching jobs with some appeal. Then you look at the New Orleans Saints. They are under the cap finally. But just a few years ago, this team was $100 million it was something ridiculous, right? They need to go to a place. They're learning that, especially as a African-American coach, right? You don't get many chances. You really don't, right? So then you look at coaching, period. How many times have a coach had a head coaching job, got fired, and got another head coaching job? I believe Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was one of those guys. Cliff Kingsbury took a year off of coaching. The Arizona Cardinals did him that bad. But it takes usually unless your name is Bill Belichick, right? Which he didn't even get a job. He didn't get a job the next year. It's very difficult, very difficult. And this ain't about the money for these organizations. You can fire a coach and think nothing about it. You pay them, it is what it is. They got endless pits of money. So the thing is, if I'm Aaron Glenn, okay, let me make the prime example. Me and my wife are now talking about maybe moving. Her parents are getting elderly. They're already elderly, but we're talking about moving. Got a primo situation where we're at. If we go to another situation and we are now in that situation, we leave our old situation, which is primo, then let's say situation happens at the new spot. Now we got to find somewhere else to go, right? So for me, if I'm Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, I ain't really trying to leave like that. The situation for me, yes, it's only 32 jobs in the National Football League, but you only get one shot 9 times out of 10. It's very few of them that usually their coordinator, head coach, fired, maybe a coordinator again. Very few of them get a second opportunity to be a head coach, right? So if I'm Aaron Glenn, I'm waiting on the primo position to go in. If you want a solid defense, but you can work on the offense, then that's his thing. If Ben Johnson wants to choose his quarterback, then that's his thing, right? Ben Johnson, there's no doubt in my mind that he's not going to go to a place that is absolutely perfect. He's turned down Carolina Panthers, probably because the owner is the one that took Bryce Young, right? Look what happened to Frank Reich. He got fired the same year he drafted Bryce Young. Then you're talking about Chicago. You stuck to Caleb now. So if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm going to the perfect situation. I'm not going to Dallas because Jerry Jones got a kick. I'm not going anywhere where the general manager is the owner. I'm not going anywhere where the owner has all the power in the world. Sheila Hemp has got out of the way, which has made the job easier for me to do, right? Jerry Jones is the general manager. Mike McCarthy he's a lame duck coach. That means he's going to be fired at the end of the year. He's a dead man walking. No hope for Mike McCarthy. His contract is over. So he's not going to be fired. He's not going to be rehired. He's done. I'm not going anywhere where the owner has more control or is the general manager. Owner's job is to pay people and get out the way. Make sure that they have the right tools in place. Jerry Jones, that's why the Dallas Cowboys stink. He's in the way, right? So I don't think these guys go anywhere. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments below.